Rami X, back with another video. I hope you guys all enjoyed today's video. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, as it would be greatly appreciated. And with that being said, this is What If Naruto Had 9 Lives. Part 3, and this should be the final part if everything goes according to plan. This part might be a little bit longer or a little bit shorter. It really just depends on a lot of things. But, with that being said, we can now get into the video. Naruto would wake up in his bed. This is now part 3 of What If Naruto Had 9 Lives, so this is where we're going to be picking up. As Naruto awoke, he felt a little different. You could even say a little strange. And when he looked at his hands, they were covered in blood. This was the blood of the Archangel Aris. With that being said, Naruto would look around him. How did he even get to his bed? He doesn't even remember going to sleep. Never mind leaving the house. With that, he would go and grab some ramen, putting it on the table as he would pour some water into the ramen, eating it. Naruto ate his ramen. With that, he looked around, absorbing his surroundings once more. It was as if little things mattered a lot more to him now. The birds chirping outside of his window, the sunlight shining through his window, the cabinets in his apartment, the dirty floor, that kind of thing. It was as if his senses had been advanced in a way. This was in part due to the fact that evil had taken control over Naruto's body as a vessel, something that evil cannot do all the time. There is specific circumstances that have to be met. For instance, for evil's other incarnates, this is very, very hard for him to do. It requires a lot of his spiritual pressure and his spiritual body. Weird concepts that will be explained later in this What If. I promise, kinda. I might forget. But with that being said, it's pretty simple. Just as Uto has a spiritual and physical form, evil has a spiritual and physical form as well. His spiritual form is very akin to Uto's spiritual form, but his physical is not, as his physical form is not his real body. For instance, right now, in the present, his physical form would be Naruto Uzumaki. But, obviously, certain requirements have to be met for him to take advantage of Naruto as a vessel as well. It's his incarnate, not his actual body. With that being said, Naruto would leave his house. As just as he left, he would bump into Kakashi, who would tell Naruto that he was just about to knock on his door and tell him that the tuning exams are coming up. 1 week passes, and everything in the tuning exams is going to go pretty straightforward as it did in the canon. The whole force of death thing, etc. Well, until Naruto unleashes the Nine Tails Chakra. Naruto is still pushed into his QB rage. But when Orochimaru basically knocks Naruto out over a tree branch, this is where Naruto would wake up. As he would stand to his feet, Orochimaru was stunned. A mere boy being able to take on this much damage. Even if this boy was the Nine-Tailed Jinchuriki, it was still a feat nevertheless. Orochimaru looked down at Naruto. As soon he would be looking up, Naruto appeared in front of Orochimaru and then above him. It was here that Naruto would put both of his hands together, slamming them down into Orochimaru and causing Orochimaru to have a massive headache. You leave, Genin, thinking you can push me around like this. You will pay for this, Uzumaki Naruto. I'll pay. Actually, I think you're the only one that's gonna pay here. Snake person. My name is Orochimaru. Orochimaru, then. Watch. Naruto would clench his fist in rage, as a ominous chakra would start to form around it. It was a mixture of red and blue chakra, as if Naruto was calling both upon his own chakra and that of the Nine-Tails Fox. Now watch me, Orochimaru. With that, Naruto was encased in a blue and crimson glow. Rushing around Orochimaru, he would attack him from all sides and angles. First, a kick. Second, a headbutt. Next, punches, left, right. He continued this onslaught of a barrage until Orochimaru looked more like a red potato, or tomato in this case, rather than, well, a snake's onion. With that being said, he looked down on Orochimaru, just as Orochimaru had looked down on him when the fights first started. You know, with those piercing eyes of yours, your story is probably really interesting, Orochimaru. But I do have a question. Why did you attack Sasuke? Is it something you want from him? It's no secret that he's an Uchiha, and, you know, people want the Sharingan. But my real question is, do you want the Sharingan for yourself? And also, how did you know that Sasuke Uchiha would be in the Forest of Death on this very day? Orochimaru wouldn't speak. Actually, Orochimaru wouldn't even move a muscle. Never mind talk. Naruto was frustrated. Since you won't answer my questions, maybe I'll have to give you another beating. He would do so. And with that, he would muster up all of his chakra into one blow, which would send Orochimaru through several trees and down to the ground on his back, looking up at Naruto. He would come down, pulling Orochimaru by his collar and slamming his fist into Orochimaru's face constantly and continuously. It would be here that smoke now emanated off of Orochimaru's body. He was beaten. Real bad. A beating he had never had in a really long time, if ever. He was defeated, you could say. But, with that being said, Naruto would take Orochimaru's body to Hiruzen upon leaving the Forest of Death with Sakura and Sasuke. Sakura and Sasuke both no longer have paralyzation, thus they are able to move with Naruto and escape the Forest of Death. Sasuke also is not inflicted by the curse mark, meaning that Sakura never has to set up camp and wait for Sasuke and Naruto to recover. Naruto is never beaten so badly due to the Nine Tails chakra, meaning that Naruto doesn't have to recover and can speedily rush out of the Forest of Death. This completely eliminates the threat of Orochimaru killing the third Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi. Due to the fact that Orochimaru is now beaten beyond compare, cannot heal himself at the moment, and has now been captured by Anbu alongside Hiruzen Sarutobi himself, meaning that it is basically useless for Orochimaru to fight anymore. The sound, not having a leader to call upon, means that the evasion comes much later, meaning that the Chunin exams can continue a little longer, also meaning that Sasuke can get more damage off on Gaara before he transforms and whatnot. This also means that the Sand is the only attacking village at the time, as they have a leader in this case. With that being said, the Sand is swiftly defeated by the Leaf Village with the help of Hiruzen himself, many Anbu, Kakashi, my guy, Iruka, even Jiraiya at this point. You get the point. Naruto still goes on to fight Gaara in this timeline, and after defeating Gaara, which we will get into their fight in just a moment, Naruto becomes the village hero, basically. Naruto, upon seeing Gaara start to transform, while watching Sasuke and Gaara's fight, would realize something was off. And when the Sand Village attacked, and Gaara was left rampant in the Chunin exams arena, alone with his teammate, Sasuke, Naruto couldn't just sit around, and so he swiftly grabbed Gaara and started running as fast as he can. It would be here that Gaara started clawing into Naruto with his fingernails, as Naruto would start to bleed from this, and a lot of blood would pour from Naruto's body. With that, Naruto would continue running until they got far, far away from both the Leaf Village and Chunin exams. It was as if this was Naruto's life mission. To kill Gaara, to save the Leaf Village. He was so devoted to it, you could say. It would be here that he would place down Gaara. Looking deep into Gaara's eyes, he only saw a beast. But upon further inspection, he saw a boy. A heartbroken boy, a sad boy, a broken boy, somebody who was betrayed and unloved in this world. And so, Naruto would disappear and reappear, this time with a sword and a kunai in hand. Gaara of the Sand Village. You are what they call a Jinchuriki, meaning that you possess a tailed beast. The sand has the one-tails. I'm assuming that is you. The one-tails is of the weakest of the tailed beast. Gaara would roar. This action was mostly controlled by Shukaku. He didn't like being called weak, even if the facts were true. Somewhat. Hopefully, nobody has to die. And if I can defeat you here, then you will no longer pose a threat for the Leaf Village. So, Gaara of the Sand, be prepared! Naruto would rush towards Gaara, slicing past him. Blood would pour from Gaara, but this blood would quickly be replaced with sand, which would start dropping to the ground rapidly. Naruto would then yell out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sword! Naruto would pull his sword forward, pointing it directly at Gaara. 9 sword slash! Naruto would slash Gaara 9 times, with Gaara falling on his knees. This would give Shukaku the opportunity to take near full control of Gaara's body, as Gaara would start to expand. Expand, expand, and expand. Damn it. The situation's getting way out of control. Naruto would use his speed to attack Gaara whilst he was getting bigger and bigger, kicking him and kicking him and kicking him. Each kick only moved him back further, but it did nothing to hurt him. He grew in size, and Naruto's legs began to grow sore and ache with pain. Damn it! Kick, kick, kick. Naruto continued to kick at Gaara, but it was to no avail. He couldn't do anything. Nothing worked. Nothing would work. Damn it! Naruto would yell out, as he would drive his blade directly into Gaara. Still, it did nothing. Taking out the blade, he would back up. I have a plan. Naruto would shut his eyes. While shutting his eyes, he would begin to communicate with the Nine Tails. Unfortunately, while this was happening, Shukaku, taking control of Gaara's body, would grow bigger and bigger, causing Leaf Shinobi and Ninja to witness what was happening. Naruto fighting a whole-tailed beast alone? This was unprecedented, never mind unheard of by a mere genin. Naruto would talk to the Nine Tails, and upon evaluation of the situation, he would lend Naruto his chakra, as much as he could. He hated Shukaku, and giving Naruto his chakra would also weaken the seal, meaning that it was a win-win situation for him, the Kyuubi, Kurama, whatever you want to call him. With that being said, Naruto's eyes would open. Nine-Tails' chakra now surrounded him. Hiruzen directly watched this fight, though he was very exhausted from fighting multiple sand and sound shinobi. Looking at Naruto from a distance, he wondered, had Naruto managed to control the Kyuubi's power? Had he tamed the beast that ravaged the village 12 years ago? Or is this a fluke? With that, Naruto would rush towards Shukaku, punching into Shukaku with a barrage of attacks. My apologies. My tongue got a little twisted. Anyways, it would be here that Naruto would punch into Shukaku with a near unstoppable barrage. Hiya! 1, 2, 3, 4. Naruto slammed his fist into Shukaku. Everybody in the village watched this in awe. Shukaku was being sent flying by a young boy. Nevertheless, the kid that was hated by most villagers. This was, you could say, insane if you want to be honest. It was something that never happened and something that, well, probably would never happen again in the history of the Leaf Village. It would be here that Naruto would start preparing the jutsu. Now, the jutsu came natural to him. This was in part due to his, well, reincarnation of evil thing, that he even knew the hand signs, but yeah. With that being said, he tapped into fire style and was able to use a fireball jutsu, hitting Shukaku with it. Naruto was a little exhausted, as he knew he had to finish it soon. Well, it's over for you, Shukaku. Nine-Tails chakra would then get it on to Naruto's blade, as it would cut right through Shukaku. Right through, slicing him in half. Gaara's real body was untouched from this, and the parts of Shukaku's body that Naruto slashed off would start to decay into sand. As Nine-Tails chakra then seeped back into Naruto's body, he smiled. A tailed beast. This is definitely probably my greatest achievement in life. Maybe now I won't be looked at as a monster anymore. Naruto would walk over to Gaara, his near lifeless body clinging on the life he spoke. Why haven't you killed me yet? Kill you? Now why on earth would I, Naruto Uzumaki, do that? Because I threatened your village, and I almost destroyed it, right? Well, it is true that if I didn't stop and grab you, you probably would have destroyed the Chunin Exams arena. And there probably would have been many casualties to come with that. You probably would have rampaged within Shukaku's body. And within Shukaku, you would have killed many people. Villagers, ninja, probably even children. But I stopped that, so it doesn't matter anymore, it's in the past. I fixed what would have happened because it no longer happened and it no longer will. Gaara, I'm the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The last tailed beast. Arguably the strongest, but, you know, I obviously have some bias. And 12 years ago, the Nine-Tails ravaged this village, as far as I know. He destroyed it, utterly annihilated it. I mean, sometimes in some parts of the village you can see the damage. It hasn't been rebuilt or repolished. But in some parts of the village, you can't see the damage. The only thing you can see is the people. The people who were affected by the thing that is inside of me. You could even call it a beast, but to me, the QB is... he's a prisoner inside of my body. So I can't blame him for destroying the Leaf Village, even though it was caused by his hand. Tailed beasts harbor lots of rage and hatred, and that can spread onto their Jinchuriki as easy as water can get on a plate, or can flow off a leaf and get you wet. I wouldn't know how to explain it, but, Gaara, I can tell that through your eyes I see a beast, but underneath I see pure-heartedness. A good person, a good boy, good guy, you know? Someone who probably lost way more than anybody has. I'm not saying that you've lost more than me or that I've lost more than you, but You can't let these things take advantage of your whole entire life. You have a whole life to live. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is you only live once. Don't live your shinobi life being hated and feared. Live your shinobi life being loved and feared. Because love is special. And I'm sure that there's been many things in life that have, let's just say, taken you off of the idea of any sort of love. But it's beautiful. And you gotta give it a second chance, you know? I feel like I'm talking to a dead person right now. The whole eyes closed thing, and you're not moving at all. So, if you could speak, that would really be appreciated. Anything. Naruto. Thank you. Huh? Why are you thanking me? Because throughout my whole life, nobody has acknowledged me in the way that you have. And nobody has understood me like you have. I realize now that everything I did up until this point was wrong. Hey, don't think like that. It's a small mistake. Nothing special. You have a token of my appreciation. You have the charisma I wish I had. And the understanding I wish I had. But through this talk, I think I can understand it now. Understand that love is important, and that people can be forgiven. And that I should live my life being loved instead of hated. That I shouldn't seek power, but instead peace, tranquility. Hey, I'm not saying to be some peace main of sorts. I'm just saying that, hey, I talk a lot. No, Naruto, you talk the truth. Your words are more truthful than anything I've ever heard in my entire life. So thank you. Thank you for everything. You, Naruto Uzumaki. You've changed my life. And for that, I'm forever indebted to you. Indebted to you. Naruto. Gaara would pass out from exhaustion. Naruto would smile. Well, I guess it happens to the best of us. Now then, I think I'd like a nap as well. Naruto would lay down beside Gaara. Hey Gaara, I know you're asleep or whatever. Maybe you just can't muster up any more words. You know, no more energy in the fuel tank. But I think I got stronger today. And I think I also made a new friend. So, first thing I'm gonna do as your friend is sleep beside you. How's that sound? Naruto would then lay down to the ground. As soon afterwards, Naruto would start to be praised in the village. He was the village hero who defeated the tailed beast Shukaku, sent the sand village running home, tails between their legs. Naruto actually even spared the life of the Jinchuriki, letting Gaara live, and showing that he was the better person, and that he only wanted peace. And thus, later that day, Gaara would go home with Tamara and Kankura, where he would apologize to his younger and older brother. Sorry, my apologies. Older sister and older brother. With that being said, they would return back to the Sand Village, and Gaara would try to become Hokage. Naruto and Gaara had a talk about many other things, and one of the things was what Naruto aspired to do in life. One of them being Hokage. One of them becoming the Hokage. And so he worked hard to become a Hokage, even though the path seemed very far. And thus, Gaara would do the same, working very hard to become the Hokage of the Sand Village, or rather, the Kage of the Sand Village. My apologies, that was really confusing. But with that being said, Naruto lived to see another day, and all was well. Orochimaru still continued to be a threat. He threatened the Leaf Village with his presence alone. And it would be in soon time that the sound, specifically the Sound 5, would come looking for their master. We now have a time skip of 4 years. Naruto is now 16, along with Sakura, Sasuke, Gaara, Shikamaru, Tenten, Neji, you get the point. Everybody's aged up 4 years. It would be a nice summer day, as Orochimaru has been held captive by the Leaf Village for 4 years straight. Whilst there, they extracted most of what Orochimaru knew and everything he knew, for the most part. About dojutsu, about jutsu, about Kikai, etc. It didn't really matter what it was, they found it out. Using their uncanny torture methods and orthodox mind reading due to, the whole Yamanaka thing. But with that being said, it would be on this night that the sound would attack, trying to free their master. Naruto, on this particular night, was left guard with Sasuke, who he had developed a brother-like bond with at this point. You see, he was guarding Orochimaru as, well, the village was short at the time on ninja due to the fact that they were sending a lot of ninja out on missions. With that, Naruto was getting a little tired. And so, he began to lay down. It would be here while he was laying down that Kimamaru would approach him, pulling out a bone sword and pointing it to Naruto's neck. Don't move, Naruto. Don't move or you might die. Can I open my eyes? Yeah, go ahead. Naruto would look. It was Kimamaru. He had never seen him in his life, but for some reason his presence felt weirdly familiar. This was in part due to the fact that he had fought Orochimaru, and his presence was similar to Orochimaru's, who, at this point, he is very familiar with. It is my understanding that my master, Orochimaru Sanin, is behind these walls. Is that correct? Naruto, do not answer. Tell him to not answer, and I will cut his throat. Naruto, you can answer. Yeah, what's it to you? Well, that's good enough. 4 sound members would appear. Kidomaru, Spider Guy, Tayuya, Flute Girl, Jiroba, Strong Boy, you get the point, and Ukon and Sakon. Yeah, I believe that was their names. Anyways, with that being said, they all appeared. Well then, would you guys go and fetch Orochimaru? I will stay here and make sure that these dogs of the Leaf Village stay quiet. Yes, Kiramaru. They would walk in as they would go and retrieve Orochimaru. Whilst doing so, Kimamaru continued to talk with, well, Naruto and Sasuke. Are you an Uchiha, Sasuke? How do you know my name? So then my intel is correct. You are Sasuke Uchiha, the second only living member of the Uchiha clan? And what is it to you? Well, I know my master really wants the Sharingan. So if I take you, then what? Then let's just say then I can both get in his good favor And it would make up for the amount of time that he spent locked up in these walls. Which means that I think I'm going to take you completely. I can't allow that, Naruto would say, with the bone sword still being pointed to his neck. Naruto would grab the bone sword, snapping it in half. This would break Naruto's hand, but he did manage to break the bone sword. He would then put his hand back into place. Ugh, damn it. That hurt like hell. You broke my bone sword. What kind of shinobi are you? Uzumaki Naruto. How do you know my name? Kimamura? That's what it says there, right? The kanji on your robe. Yes, that is indeed my name. My intel said that you are the holder of the beast known as the Nine Tails, I believe. It ravaged this village nearly 16 years ago. And you are the Jinchuriki then. I am familiar somewhat with what Jinchurikis are, but I've never seen one in the flesh this close. Interesting. Well, I'm going to kill your friend here. Either that, or I am going to take him back to my hideout. Well, Orochimaru will do what he always does. Conduct experiments. The Nine Tails must be special. As for you, Sasuke, you will be given directly to my master. With that, Kimamura would go to attack Naruto, as Naruto would grab his blade. I can't let you kill me or Sasuke. Fine. A Jinchuriki who won't comply is better left undead Jinchuriki. Which means that I will kill you. Kimamura would raise his bone sword as he would yell out, "Bone sword, triumph of the dead," slicing right into Naruto's heart. Naruto would pause. He could no longer speak, and his eyes became null, faded into darkness, his body numb. Sasuke watched all of this while being able to do nothing, which would trigger his Mangekyo Sharingan, seeing the death of his best friend being stabbed right through the heart. Light would appear from Naruto's body. As Naruto would reappear behind Kimamura, headlocking him, Kimamura would start to choke, losing air. I killed you just seconds ago, right through the heart. How are you still alive? It's actually quite simple. I can cheat death, in a way. But with that, I become closer and closer to... Never mind. He was going to say becoming the literal reincarnation of evil, but it's information that nobody really needs to know besides he and himself. With that, he would look deeply into Kimamura's eyes. Whilst I have the ability to cheat death, you do not, Kimamura. Member of the Sound Village. Naruto would raise his blade. I suppose fate would only be fitting to stab you in your heart as you did stab me. I think that's fair, right? With that, he would raise his blade, stabbing it into Kimamura's heart. Kimamura was now dead. Sasuke, get up quickly. I can hear their footsteps. They're coming fast. They're approaching quickly. And as I can now hear 6 footsteps, it means Orochimaru is off them, probably unshackled and bloodthirsty as ever. This is a fight I don't want to take on at any day. But if it is to be today, then we will bury them in blood. Give me your strength. We will use a combination jutsu. If we're lucky, we can kill all of them. This was an interesting plan. That should have took more planning, but it was accurate. If they could form a strong enough combination jutsu, they could kill them all. Now, quickly. Earth style. Sasuke looked over at Naruto. You know Earth style? I have every chakra nature. Oh, Sasuke would shake his head, clearing his mind. Fine, then I'll use... I don't think I have a jutsu that would properly counteract that. Fine. Then what I want you to do is gather electricity. And you're going to use a Chidori stream when I give you the count, okay? Alright, but you do know that lightning style renders earth style ineffective. Well, what I'm trying to do is use an earth style jutsu and a water style jutsu in tandem, which means that I will be able to create a mud-like jutsu. Mud means that there is water. Water will electrocute them. If the electrocution is strong enough, then they will be fried to death. And if it doesn't work, then they will suffocate due to the mud. You're going to cover the entire building with mud? I'm going to flood the entire building with mud, yes. Now, water style, raging waves jutsu. Earth style, earth barricade. Barrage of the earth. With that, earth would come swarming into the building with water turning into a mud-like jutsu. Now, Sasuke, are you prepared? Good. Go. On 3, 2, stop. 1. With that, Sasuke would use his Chidori stream, which would electrocute everybody in the building, and the mud would suffocate them. All of them would die, except for Orochimaru, who would become a very, very small snake. You see, during his time in what you could describe as a little bit of a holding cell, prison, etc., he had, in a way, had chakra ceiling chains on, meaning that he couldn't use any jutsu, etc. And thus, this time, without the shackles, he became a very small snake, shifting through the mud and deep into the ground, appearing far, far away and getting as far as he could from the Leaf Village underground. Sasuke and Naruto would both say, As we know it, Orochimaru's dead. No, Sasuke. I can still feel his presence. It's not in the building anymore. It's getting farther and farther away. He escaped? Yeah. And he's too far away for us to get him anymore. I see. Well, I guess that's our bad luck. You can say that again. Anyways, we killed the rest of the Sound 5. So, mission accomplished? Kinda? Yeah. Naruto and Sasuke would high-five each other. With that, Naruto and Sasuke would report what had happened to the third Hokage, who had realized that there was a disturbance within the village. Upon hearing of this, Naruto and Sasuke would go to sleep, as they would any other day. Waking up... Sorry about that sudden pause. I had to end the recording. I got painstakingly hungry. I got very, very hungry. I still am quite famished, if I'm being honest. But sometimes when I get really hungry, my words just, don't string together properly. So I had to cut the recording there. But the recording shall now continue. Several weeks passed with several things going on in these weeks. But for the most part, one thing would be noted. the Akatsuki. Basically, the whole Deidara thing would happen, but Naruto in this timeline arrives fast enough to stop it, and, well, unfortunately, he is killed by Deidara. But this sacrifice would allow Gaara to gather the necessary strength, and would even gather the necessary rage to kill Deidara. With that being said, Naruto revives, going on to his 4th life. With that being said, Naruto, after this point, realizing that the Akatsuki plan to hunt all of the Jinchuriki, being a Jinchuriki himself, and also, well, one of his best friends, Gaara, is a Jinchuriki, he is scared, you could say. And thus, he hunts them all down. This would take about a few months for him to do, but he would kill all of, well, mostly all of the Akatsuki members that were known to be living. He did this in many ways. For instance, sometimes he would kill himself only to come back stronger and continue to fight them. As you know, he has 18 chances to kill himself and 9 chances to normally die. With that being said, if he ever did fall in combat naturally, then he would just rebirth. And he used this jutsu to take out the baddest of the bad, the strongest of the strongest Akatsuki members, which included Pain. But at this point, Madara has been revived. And Madara, working together with Obito, would figure out the location of Naruto Uzumaki and his squad while they were, you could say, on a mission. The squad consisted of Kakashi, Sakura, and Sasuke. With that being said, they were on a small mission to the Cloud Village, just to talk to the Jinchuriki that were in the Cloud Village. But whilst there, Madara and Obito would appear, fighting them through a 5-hour-long battle. Obito would manage to be defeated through the use of Kakashi's Kamui, interacting with Obito's Kamui, and all sorts of factors that allowed them to take this victory over Obito. But unfortunately, this victory was not against Madara as well. Though it is true that you have defeated Obito, I am Madara Uchiha, and I will not be defeated in the same fashion. How is Madara here, some of you may be asking? Well, he has been revived using the Edo Tensei. And in part, this was due to the help of Orochimaru. With that being said, Madara would start to beat down on Naruto, who, through killing all the Akatsuki members and fighting them, besides killing Itachi Uchiha, who remains alive, but his fate will be known much later on in this video. Through only having defeated every single Akatsuki member besides Itachi, Obito, and Madara, if you count Obito and Madara, he only managed to have one life, meaning that this was his last life, and if he died, he would become the reincarnation of evil itself. It would be here that Madara would start to use unorthodox jutsus that Naruto and his squad had never seen. Jutsus that were dealing a lot of damage. Jutsus that were strong. Attacks that were powerful. But with that being said, Naruto would be pushed to his limit, as Madara would take advantage of this, killing Naruto. There was no need for another reincarnation of Asura, and so he killed him. It even felt like his natural duty. As Naruto fell to the ground, he felt his body changing. He felt everything about him changing. And I mean everything. He felt himself getting stronger. And he felt as if he was losing himself. In a black pit, Naruto appeared in his subconscious. At this point, Naruto has befriended the Nine Tails to a very high degree. So much so that he can use about 5 to 7 of the Nine Tails' tails of chakra without there being any issues. But here he didn't see the Nine Tails in his subconscious. All he saw was darkness in a man. Hi, Naruto Uzumaki. You are my current vessel. No, you've got to be kidding me. Nope, it is me in the flesh. Evil. I knew it. Damn it. So I lost. So I'm dying, aren't I? Yep. And your life is now mine. Meaning that I have 9 lives to live as you, Naruto. So I should be thanking you. I think that's the most I can do. You've brought me probably the best vessel I've had in several centuries. And thus I will save your friends. A small token of my appreciation. Upon saving them, I will leave. And if they follow me, or try to get you, back, I will kill them. Hopefully. A loud shaking sound would be heard, as evil, now in control of Naruto's body completely, would shake the earth. Naruto remained deeply dormant within evil, but he was shadowed by evil's malice and strength. Never mind his power and essence. Evil looked around him. This is now evil as Naruto's body, so Naruto will now be referred to evil. But when I refer to evil, it is Naruto's body. When I refer to Naruto, it is Naruto's subconscious within his own body, which is now being controlled by evil. Oh, it feels even better. Breathing in air. Now that I am truly alive, I will bring about great calamity, and I will relish in the death of Uto. And all of his faithful followers. Or should I say my faithful followers? Naruto, what are you talking about? Kakashi would say. Evil would appear in front of Kakashi, looking at him and even dissecting him with his eyes, that is. You must be the sensei. Interesting. Well, Naruto no longer remains. I am the reincarnation of evil. What? Oh, he never told you? Well, as you guys probably know, Naruto can kind of cheat death. At least he could before I took over his body. It is due to the fact that he is a reincarnation of I, a vessel of mine, you could say. Vessels of mine have the ability to cheat death 9 times. By physical things. Illness, I don't know, being stabbed through the heart, for example, you get the point. They can even kill themselves 18 times. This is, or rather, that is merely a perk of being one of my reincarnations. Who even are you? I am evil. E-V-I-L-L, the reincarnation of evil is the vessel I'm in right now, and I am quite literally the embodiment of evil. I see. Then Naruto, he's inside of there. We have to save him. We have to save him, Kakashi-sensei, Sasuke. I'm afraid that you cannot save Naruto. He is buried too far deep into my darkness. And each second that passes that I have control over his body, the more he sinks deeper and deeper. Now then, Madara Uchiha. Ooh, is this a challenge, I feel? Yes, it is a challenge, and I'm going to kill you. Evil would appear in front of Madara, placing his hand on Madara's chest. You're strong. I can give you that, Madara. Huh? What are you? You have been rebirthed as a reincarnation in Edo Tensei, a reanimation. The Edo Tensei Jutsu is of evil origin. I believe the creator of this jutsu was the second Hokage, Tobirama Senju. It was an evil jutsu, and thus, he, you could say, forbid it, meaning it is forbidden, a forbidden jutsu. Since it is evil, I control it. I control all things evil in essence. So, I can revoke the reincarnation. Now, reanimation jutsu. Banish! With that, Madara's body would start to fall apart, as evil would ensure that Madara could not use any form of jutsu to keep himself on the physical plane, atomizing Madara's body. It would be here that Sakura would begin to cry. Just a second afterwards, she had tried to hug Naruto, but Naruto had slapped her away. And it would be then that Naruto would leave, and it appeared that he would never return. Up and down the whole world, Naruto, inside, well, evil, would create calamity. He would bring about destruction everywhere he went, destroying villages, countries even, killing clans, entire clans. It didn't matter who we came across. He just cared about bloodshed. And so, he got it. Evil got everything he wanted. Until eventually, Uto. It would be here that Uto and Evil would clash. Uto's physical presence alone was enough to render the archangels of Uto ineffective. Their abilities ceased to work, you could say. And thus, it was a 1v1. Evil versus good. Uto versus evil. Evil and Uto had a heart-filled fight. They got off things they had to say, and blood was spilled. A lot of it, to be exact. You could say that it was a fight for the ages, and that the people watching the fight would remember it and tell it in fables to come, stories passed down from generation to generation. The fact of the matter was that this fight was even, with Uto taking his own life to ensure that evil could not kill him, and that instead he would be reborn once more, giving him the opportunity to stop evil in his next life. With that being said, Evil now saw not a real point in life, where his only point was to destroy. But Naruto was still inside, buried deep within Evil. Sasuke had been planning this for months. He knew exactly where Evil would be, tracking him down to several massacres close to the Stone Village and Mist Villages. It would be here that he would ambush Evil. With the help of Shikamaru, Tenten, Neji, Choji, Hinata, Sakura, Kakashi, Might Guy, Hiruzen, etc. Basically, all of the Konoha 11 and a lot of their teachers as well, the third Hokage, etc., etc. As they would try to get through to Naruto. Evil would immediately rush to kill them all, but his body would be stopped. It was Naruto. One of Evil's eyes would turn a bright blue, as Naruto would control half of Evil's mouth, making out the words, "Run away. Leave me alone. You can't save me." Unfortunately, they wouldn't listen to Naruto, continuing to attack anyway, continuing to try to get through to him. And it would be here that Evil would reach into Choji's chest. Such a big creature. Is this a special Kiki Genkai? Well, nevertheless. Get off of me, Naruto. I said stop calling me that. I am evil. And I'm not off of you. You could actually say that I'm in you. My hand is physically inside of your chest, and I will rip out your heart. No, Naruto wouldn't do that. Choji's heart would begin to be pulled out, as Hinata would try to stop him. Naruto, in this timeline, does have feelings for Hinata, so something would happen. Evil would go to slap Hinata, but his hand would be stopped. This very hand that would be stopped would then reach onto his other hand that was inside of Choji's chest, pulling it out. Evil and Naruto would then have a fight inside of their subconscious. Well, Naruto would win this fight. It is unknown how, but he did. Though it should be presumed that he had the help of the Sage of Six Paths in this battle. With that being said, Naruto now stood over Evil. So I've been defeated. Yeah, you have been defeated. Evil. You know, there wasn't always a time where I was like this. I know the story. I don't need to hear it again. I see. Did one of the previous incarnates tell you? Yeah, you could say something like that. Well then, I guess you're no longer needed in this plane. I will dispatch of you inside of my subconscious, and I will take back hold of my body as its rightful owner. I'm sorry, Naruto. Huh? Why are you apologizing? It's my nature to be this way. It's my nature to kill, to cause calamity. I was put this way on Earth as evil. So, I apologize for anything I did. You will still have to atone for everything you've done, Evil. One apology doesn't make everything good. But if you ask for my forgiveness, you haven't, Evil. I forgive you. I guess. Thank you, Naruto. It would be here that a metaphorical sword would be stabbed into Evil, where Naruto would now have full control over his body once more, and Evil would be damned to lay in darkness for 100 years. Naruto would hug everyone there. He would also apologize to Choji, giving him Nine-Tails chakra to heal his wounds. And with that, this is kind of the end. Naruto goes on to have several children with Hinata, only 4, but it is more than the canon timeline. Boruto is still born, as well as Himawari, and Naruto still becomes the 6th Hokage. Or rather, in this case, the 6th Hokage, as Kakashi never becomes a Hokage. He advises Naruto, but is never the real Hokage. With that being said, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. It was very long, I guess you could say. And kind of hard to record for me. But I love you all, and I appreciate that you stayed the whole video. If you did, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And with that being said, this has been What If Naruto Had 9 Lives. When I make the full movie, it will be known as What If Naruto is the Reincarnation of Evil, as that's kind of what this What If is, but it wasn't what it was originally. Originally, it was just 9 lives, but as I went further and further into the What If, I realized that this What If could also be called What If Naruto was the Reincarnation of Evil, with a little bit of tweaks, of course. So, with that being said, I hope you guys all enjoyed today's video. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, share the video to a friend who likes what is, or just anime content in general. Comment down below what are suggestions, as that would be deeply appreciated. I would appreciate that so much, and I might even take a few into consideration. If any of you have maybe a birthday coming up, then I could possibly do a what if for you guys, just to, you know, give back to the community that I'm in. Yeah, with that being said, farewell. Rami X, out.